Welcome and happy holidays. We're about to get ready to start a new year, and we have our one final episode before that new year starts. And it's a jam-packed show, but as usual, I'm the guy that's running the bus, well, driving that bus, and then I got my co-drivers with me, Coach Josh, and Jones will be here shortly. He's currently busy at the moment, but we'll go ahead and get this thing slowly started. Coach Josh, how
What's
was
up,
your
baby?
how was your holiday weekend, man?
Pretty good, man. Restful. Um, uh, got to see some family. Um,
But did you get what you want for your birth? I mean, for Christmas.
yeah, I did, man. I
Good,
did.
good.
Mm.
Jones, were you able to get what you needed for Christmas or what you wanted? Like I said, he's currently busy at the moment. He'll be with us shortly, so we'll go ahead and take this by hand. We had a pretty busy weekend. We'll go over a few topics currently at the moment. There's a couple things I'd like to jump into. The first thing is, like I said, we have a new year coming in, and it begs to differ for you, Coach. Um, what do you have for the new year?
For the new year. Um, this year I've been on. I guess I'm gonna say just a journey of getting my physical together. Like in January, we normally do our church fast for 21 days, the Daniel fast. So I'll be starting that on Monday. Um but the plan is to start seeing my seeds grow now. Um I planted a lot of seeds in the last 18 months. So man, that's gonna be my big thing to see them start to grow and sprout and produce flowers and fruit. Man, what
Yeah,
about you?
me. I think this year I'm gonna focus a lot more on health. Um,
Well,
just to make sure that everything is good with myself. I do have a little one that I must be around for. And the
hmm
only way to make sure that is happening is I do need to lose about 50 pounds, which I will do. Along with that, I do want to enjoy life more in the aspect of family matters. I'm already a family guy, but I want to make sure I take those moments and cherish them to that point of being with my family. And also, I want to get a little bit more deeper spirituality in my spirit. I want to make sure I reach out to the good Lord, and give my prayers and my devotion a little bit more than what I've been doing, and that'll round out my year for me.
hmm
So,
Ain't too bad, man, working on your spirituality. So
no, no, not at all. But let's jump into this sports thing.
let's jump right on in, baby. Let's go.
As you guys know, there was a big game over the weekend, and started with the Ravens, which we'll get to later on. And then it came to this game right here that happened to be on Sunday. And Myles Garrett said something that made a lot of sense. And it made me think, and I'm going to ask you the question, and guys in the chat, you guys answer as well. Was Myles Garrett's sack record more important than winning the division for the Steelers? And let me give you a little caveat before we get started. If you guys know who Aaron Rodgers is, Aaron Rodgers is a little bit egotistical at times. And when he wants to set a certain standard, i.e., he wants to break this record or he don't want such and such record broke against him, he makes that known and he put forth an effort to make sure that it doesn't happen. I'm gonna give you that caveat. So I ask you, do you feel like the Steelers were more worried about Myles Garrett and that sack record than winning the division? What do you think? Coach Josh, what you think, man?
I think it was a little bit of both. But I mean, man, we gonna also say the Cleveland Browns. Let's put that out there. They don't have no shabby defense.
Agreed.
And I don't believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers have a top offense. They were missing DK.
Yes, they were.
So that's something big. And I think that you have division rivals. I wouldn't want that record set against me either. A bitter division rival.
I will say to that caveat that the Steelers haven't won in Cleveland in like almost 8 years.
Yep, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. I think the last person who won there was Maddox or whoever, or I can't think of his name. That was the last person to win in
Wow.
in Cleveland. Yeah, so that's a pretty. Here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is a guy that's very intelligent when it comes to football, but it's also an a-hole as well. I thought that he didn't want that record for whatever reason. He didn't want to be on that record. And he ensured, and I'm gonna give you a few tidbits of what I thought. There was about 3 or 4 times where it was 3rd and 5, or even 3rd and 7. I think it was one that was 3rd and 7. They hiked the ball, they did a draw, and I was like, what? It caught me off guard a little bit. And then I felt like they were going out their way to chip block him. Did you see how wide he was? He was so wide that when they would chip block and he would get Myles Garrett is intelligent in his own right. Because what he was doing was he was getting so wide to say, if you want to come chip block me, I'm going to make sure you open up a hole for somebody else to get there, which they were. They were getting there. And I don't understand how they didn't pick that up, that he was so wide and he was jumping outside and they would go to block and he would come straight down. He almost got him a few times, but Aaron Rodgers, like I said, he's a slick individual when it comes to ensuring to get the ball out of his hand. And we got a couple individuals who said some things. Let's see what they say. Guy Alex Boyd, he said, yes, the record was more important. If you're not going to win the Super Bowl, why not get a win at something? I understand that. I get that. I do think they put an emphasis on making sure that, because like I said, Aaron Rodgers is so egotistical. Guys got to dig a little bit deeper on Aaron Rodgers. He is a class a-hole. I can say that. And he didn't want that record. And because he didn't want that record, he put an emphasis and he made sure the team put an emphasis to make sure he didn't get that record. And ultimately, I believe that's what cost him the game. Because if you go to the last play of the game, he sees Myles coming and he snaps back the other way, knowing where Scantling is going to be, and he just throws it to get it out of his hands.
But why didn't he throw it up? I didn't understand that, because Scantling is what, like 6'4", 6'5"?
If you watch the play, he glances at Myles Garrett, and as soon as he glances to see Myles has a step, he just go ahead and releases it. Like he throwed it with barely looking. But if he would have took just that 1 second and look at his check down, Gainwell was wide open for the touchdown, which would have tied the game. But that's neither here nor there. And all I got to say is I feel like the Cleveland Browns from this game, if they played this way a lot more often in the aspect of, okay, easy check downs, let's play really good defense, they would have won a few more games. I do think they needed coaching change. Because you got to start hearing somebody different. And then that leads to a big game that's going to be Sunday night with the Steelers. They could have won the division, but they didn't, and that puts a lot of people now in jeopardy, because now you gotta look at DK for what he did and what happened. And
but will he play on? But will he play?
No, he's suspended. That's his second game.
Yeah, but they was talking about they're gonna rescind it.
No, I don't know who told. No, that's
what Jake Glazer was talking about today.
No, there's no rescinding. And here's why there's no rescinding. So DK Metcalf complained about this dude. The NFL already knew about this dude. DK should have never went over there. All DK should have done was raise his hand, tell security remove the dude, and the dude would have removed him.
Yeah.
You gotta know who you're dealing with. That dude has notoriously been a pain in DK's side, but unfortunately he won this round. And to him saying anything out of the ordinary this time, he didn't. The previous time, he did. When he was playing for Seattle, he did go after DK. And he said some pretty horrible things. So that leads me to what Aaron did and the Steelers not getting done leaves Mike Tomlin in a weird situation. Aaron Rodgers could potentially be home and be done with the NFL. DK Metcalf, luckily the Steelers didn't want to take away his guaranteed money. That's one thing we haven't really had a discussion about. He could have lost his guaranteed money. And then, yeah, like Deuce, like MTD 972 said, $45 million mistake. He could have lost $45 million off that, which is crazy. But all in all, yeah, man, I think the Steelers are more worried about the sack record than winning that game. And you got anything else on this topic?
I'm still trying to figure out why he didn't throw the ball up to Scantling, who is 6'4", 6'5".
This game was crazy because they also lost. What's his name? The big tight end from Georgia. He broke his arm. He's out of there.
And somebody else hurt too.
Yeah, I forgot.
Man, I saw it today. So
I can't remember. Yeah, they lost a couple key pieces.
Yeah, but I mean, I look at it, and we've been talking about this, and I hate to say this, but if Pittsburgh lose, I think Mike Tomlin is done.
That's what I said. He'll be in a very odd prediction.
And the rumor is that Rodgers not coming back, that he's probably going to be the bridge for the Kansas City Chiefs next year, which I don't understand why again, but hey.
I think it's time for that dude to call it a wrap.
I think so too.
That's no here nor there. Guys in the chat, if you guys got something you want to say about this Myles Garrett record,
bro, man, we're gonna come back to this, man, when Jones come, because I want to hear his take.
Yeah, definitely will. Definitely come back to this.
Yeah, man. So what we got on the next? So, because they had a bunch of sports in these last 2 weeks.
Oh, this one. Let's get to this one.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys know, but over the weekend, Kawhi Leonard decided to drop a double nickel, and he could have had more if he wanted to. He went for 55. He had a heck of a game. He needed all 55. Every time he sat, Detroit made a run and got them back in the game. So it leads to the question, what do you think of the double nickel, which is 55 points, performance by Kawhi Leonard? Coach Josh, I know you love basketball. Go ahead and give me that take, man.
They needed a win. They needed a win. Bro, they got some money on that payroll. And I don't think he has gotten Balmer hasn't gotten the what it is, return on investment yet. And they need something, bro, because they in a nice stadium, or your arena, whichever one you want to say. He got some money on that payroll. And this was old Kawhi, man. This was all right, I could do what I want to do. But I don't know what was up with Detroit though, man. I'm like, man, what's up with Detroit? But Detroit been playing on and off lately too. So do we talk about the 55 or do we talk about how something is going on with Detroit?
Detroit only has so many losses. They're the number one seed in
Yeah,
the
but
East.
you can start to see the writing on the wall though.
I don't think so, man. Sometimes you have
I
these
mean,
lulls. You have these lulls during the season. It's a long season, man. You got to think.
okay, so like we looked at OKC up in San Antonio. We can honestly say that OKC
But
has
that's
a
one.
problem.
That's a one team.
Okay,
This
but
is
we can
not a
see the
one
writing on the
team.
wall. But we can
Detroit
see
is
the writing on the wall, correct?
for who?
For that OKC has a problem with San Antonio.
Yeah, that's a matchup. That's a matchup nightmare for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
And so
The
with
tr-
me saying that Detroit they haven't been playing their self
I
like
think
these
they're on the
last
road.
couple of weeks. Yeah, they still number one.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
think they're
talking
on the
about
road. But you got to think they're on a road trip. They're going from the East
yeah,
Coast to the West Coast, bro. Those things make huge changes in how they operate. I don't think this is anything about them. This is actually this is more on Kawhi. Kawhi played really well. He was very efficient because I was keeping up with that game. He was very efficient.
yeah,
Um, I want to say he had 11 rebounds in that game. He was balling.
yeah.
He had 55, and I want to say James Harden had 20. Those were the only two guys with those type of numbers. And they needed all 55 because I was talking to you guys when it was going on, and I said, "Hey man, this dude could go for 60 because he had 50 at going into the fourth quarter, but he had sat
Mm.
down, and then they made a run, and he had to get back in there, and he ended up scoring 55. So if the game was any closer, he would have had way more than what he had. And we have Jones in the building.
Yeah, CJ Uncle.
Right. What do you think
Listen,
about what you what you think?
listen. I will for the viewers who are watching. So the CJ Stroud reference is I was out and picking up some food after the gym, and this gentleman was behind me. And he was like, "Hey, buddy," and I heard him the first time, but I act like I didn't hear him. And he said it again. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey." He's like, oh man, I thought you were CJ Stroud." And for the folks viewing, it is clear that I don't look like CJ Stroud. However,
No, you don't. No,
however, we'll go with it. As long as I can get some CJ Stroud money, we'll be all right.
Or
But
Some perks or something.
yeah, So, but here's the thing, right? So if we're going to jump right into it, if we're talking about Kawhi Leonard, we talk about his greatness, right? If we talk about, who he was with San Antonio, we talk about who he was with the Raptors, right? We talk about who he should have been with the Clippers. Listen, I'm not surprised, right, or shocked that he was able to get, a 50+ point game. And in my estimate, this is the Kawhi that should be showing up game in and game out. This is the Kawhi that the LA Clippers gave all his money to, hoping that this guy would show up on a consistent basis, night in and night out. So if we're saying, are we shocked? Yes, but we shouldn't be, right? Because this is the Kawhi Leonard that should be showing up. I mean, I guess I would say that I am shocked because this isn't the Kawhi Leonard that we've been getting with the Clippers. So What I will say though is I'm happy that he showed back up. I'm hopeful that he stays in this form, right? And hopefully it's not a one and done. Because what I would say is, that it's cool that that he got a 50+ point game, but can he carry that to a playoff? Right? Can he carry this to playoff wins? Can he will his team to a long stretch throughout the playoffs? And I mean, it's yet to. I mean, if history shows us anything, he's going to be hurt next week. Okay, and
Can he carry it to the next game?
Coach Josh said it in 55.
Can he carry it to the next game?
Here's
Right.
what I say before we go back to a topic we want to get to you with that we have started. I will say they have played exceptionally well since letting go of Chris Paul. So
I wonder why.
He I guess he stopped getting his head busted and having somebody tell you you're getting your head busted. Makes a big difference. But no, they've been playing well. They're actually a couple games out of the play-in. It looks like they're making a run. James, they lost Zubac in the middle for a little bit with an ankle injury, but old Brook Lopez came back in the post, rebounding
Right.
He's 7-1. I don't understand why this dude just wants to shoot threes, even though the other night he hit 9 threes in a row anyway. But that's here nor there. Ultimately, the Clippers are in a better spot. If we can get this more from Kawhi, maybe they make the play-in.
And they got some help in Denver.
Yeah.
So let me say this real quick before we move back to the other topic. I was having this conversation with someone last week. Listen, this is a new NBA. This is different from what we are used to, right? And the mid-range assassins are dead, right? I heard people are, getting in trouble for shooting mid-range jumpers or getting benched and set down because they're shooting mid-range. So, I watched the Spurs game the other night, right? And a set aside, De'Aaron Fox needs to be traded. They need to go ahead and get LaMelo on that team. And I think LaMelo would take the Spurs to the next level, but I digress. But I sat there and I watched each team just come down and pull threes, right? It's iso ball now, and it's 3-pointers, right? And it's fast break layups. That's what the NBA has really turned into. So, but anyway, Kawhi Leonard though, I was watching a video of Pat Bev talking about Kawhi Leonard, right? And he was talking about Kawhi Leonard playing defense, and he was like, I forgot what happened, and whoever it was couldn't play no defense. He couldn't hold his man, and he was like, well, Pat, he ain't got no straps, Pat. And he's like, I know, man. We need to switch that. We need to switch that. He's like, well, if he can't play defense, then why is he playing? Right? But that's the Kawhi Leonard that we should be seeing on the court. The Kawhi Leonard we should be seeing as the leader, the defensive lockdown, right? Somebody with the Mamba mentality, right? Listen, I'm gonna guard your best player, and I'm gonna take him out of the game. Now he got to guard me, and I'm gonna put 30, 40, 50 on him, right? But I don't know if these players today have that killer mentality. But go ahead, we'll switch it up.
So we'll go back to something I know you probably want to speak of because you're the residential Browns fan here. So
I try to be.
We go back to, and we asked the question: was Myles Garrett's sack record more important than winning the division for the Steelers? Let us know. I said yes. Coach Josh said yes and no, and I understood exactly what he was saying. But what about you? What did you see from that game?
I seen the Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers not wanting to allow Myles Garrett to get that sack record on the Steelers. One thing that I did see and I did hear is the fact that J.J. Watt is one of these sack leaders, right? I think he has 22 and a half sacks, right? So he's tied for the being the sack leader. So it would not look good on them, right? And whether it be consciously or subconsciously, they knew that they didn't want to allow Myles Garrett, who is a Cleveland Browns, who is a rivalry team, to take over. Yeah, to take over TJ Watts. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach Johnson mentioned that as well. He did. He said that same exact thing. You're absolutely correct.
But listen, Aaron Rodgers never got that ball out of his hand that fast this whole season. Like, how many deep balls, if he had just taken an extra second, right, set his feet and put the, and throw the ball with poise and accuracy, that he would have hit some of those deep shots when they were playing one-on-one or man on the outside.
I'm going to tell you exactly what Coach Josh said. Coach Josh said the last play of the game, he throws that ball on a beam low, and why he didn't throw it up to give Scantling at least a chance to try to catch that. That's
because he's used to throwing to DK Metcalf.
Well, also too, like I told Coach Josh at the beginning, Myles is very smart. He lined up extra early, extra far outside, knowing if you're going to come chip, I want you to come chip out your way, which they were doing. They were coming, and if you don't remember the couple sacks that they did have, the dude was just rolling right up into that spot where the tackle would have been, but he's so far out trying to get to Myles Garrett that he was opening that hole, and it was crazy, man. It was something
they should have been running. They should have been running A-gap stunts all game because of that, right?
Yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah, they should have been running stunts all game, right? Because they were having the tight end come out, chip release, right, and then double team by left tackle and the guard, right, or possibly the running back. But that was taking an extra man out of the rotation for their offense, right? So that also stagnated their offense outside of losing their other tight end who broke his arm.
Yeah, because
and I'm so glad he wasn't playing, because that dude is like 300 pounds.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that here soon. But let's get to something. So finish up what you were saying about this topic.
Yeah. So I really think they had it on their mind that they didn't want Myles Garrett to get that sack record. I think they went out of their way to really stop Myles Garrett to make sure that he didn't get that record. And they put three. He was triple team every play. And you absolutely that was more than a wide nine, right? That dude was almost on a whole nother field. He was on the hash.
No, he was.
Yeah, and what's crazier is the fact that they didn't run through that gap.
No, they didn't.
Like if they were watching any other team, if they had watched the Tennessee Titans, right? Every time because Myles Garrett wants that record, right? I think the Browns defense was playing as hard as it was to try to help him get that record, right? Now, what the Tennessee Titans did was like, okay, well, if you're just going to keep going around the circle, right? If you're going to allow our left tackle to press you out, we're just going to take that gap that you gave us. And they was gashing us for 5, 10, 15, 20 yards a clip.
He broke like a 55-yard or two. Don't.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. So I think they overthought it. I think they talked themselves out of a win because truth be told, with Shedeur Sanders, especially that bad interception he threw, that was definitely his fault. They should have won that game, but with Boswell missing field goals and let me say this too: when they started running the hurry up and Aaron Rodgers was taking control of the offense and he was calling the plays, they were able to move the ball
really well. Yes.
Yeah, but when the offensive coordinator was calling plays, it was what you saw. So
okay, I agree. You're absolutely correct. But let's move into this next topic. I'm going to play a video for you guys real quick before we jump into that next topic. Give me 1 second. Yeah, if I can find my... Okay, here we go.
like that? Absolutely not. It's too easy to see. And, Andrew Tate's simply fatigued, and he wasn't able to get out of the way of it. Too much weight. Beautiful shot by Chase. Around the Chase to Moore. Clearly dominated in round 5.
That's one clip. I'm going to show you guys another clip because the two go hand in hand because they fought on the same night.
Out of Jake Paul, but when he gets caught with his hands down and his chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo! I know that's Ric Flair, and he came out, not to Ric Flair, he came out to Hulk Hogan, but he's up on his feet.
So I hear the laughing and the chuckling because I was doing the same thing. It asked the question, what lesson did Andrew Tate and Jake Paul learn about pro comeback sports? I'll start with you, Coach Josh. What do you think they learned?
Well, Tate used to fight professionally.
What?
He was a kickboxer.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like Jake Paul was a YouTuber to me. So like they did stuff for fun and for laughs and giggles. But Tate ain't fought in years though. But I got my views on him just because on what I stand on and my beliefs and whatever. I mean, what did they learn? That probably they could go in the ring and get beat up for $50 million. I mean, that's what Jake Paul.
No,
learned.
Understandable.
Oh yeah, I don't know what. Oh Lord. I don't know what Tate got paid. So, or how he even got this fight about why he even fighting. So
here's what I'll say. Here's what they learned. They learned to stop letting their mouth cash checks that they can't cash. So in that sense, I think Paul will go back to fighting those guys that don't actually box or are on the lighter end of boxing, and Tate better go back to just doing his podcast because
I think Paul's supposed to fight one of the Charlo brothers.
I hope he. Okay, look, man. You know what? If it's making him the money that he's making, and I understand, I'll keep doing it until everybody stops paying. So, but you better be careful because you take the wrong shot, you go feel it for a long time. What about you, Jones?
Listen, when I say this, I hope that I'm clear, right? Professionals are professionals for a reason. Okay, they dedicate their blood, sweat, and tears to be as great as they are, and even the average professional boxer would have did that to Jake Paul, right? In my estimate, because there's a few things, right? Because after Joshua beat him, now you have Mike Tyson coming out saying, listen, well, I want to fight again, and I want to do it without the script.
Oh,
that's what he said?
He said, I want to do it without the script. So that lets me know that there are certain stipulations within these contracts of what you can and you cannot do. And, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? But, Anthony Joshua just got into a car accident, right? And somebody was like, listen, that ain't no coincidence, right? What? So, and what they were referring to is, and again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist and I'm not, here to perpetuate that. However, what the guy was saying is, Joshua wasn't supposed to win that fight. He's supposed to take the dive and, both of them was going to make some money. But when.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You think Joshua went off script and was like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and knock him out?
What I'm going to say is he was in the ring with a professional boxer who was still boxing. And what I will say is, and so let me also
instincts kicked
exactly.
in?
That's exactly what I was about to say. So me and you were both in the military, right? If certain situations were to happen, your muscle memory would kick in, your instincts would kick in, right?
You ain't telling no story, bro. You telling the truth.
And that's what it would happen, and that's what it would be. But listen, professionals are professionals for a reason. I tell you a story. So I try to watch some of the former NBA players who do these podcasts and stuff, right? And I think it was Steven Jackson who was telling the story. I could be wrong. Matter of fact, I do think it was someone else, but we'll say it was Steven Jackson. No, matter of fact, it was someone on the Lakers. Who was the sixth man for the Lakers when they went on the championship run? He would come off the bench, and he was pretty much their defensive lockdown. It's not
Barnes.
Is it Barnes? Anyway,
yeah, Matt Barnes was on that team too. Yeah,
well, not Matt Barnes. No, it wasn't Matt Barnes. But anyway, he said, he has a specific role when he was playing with the NBA, and he, was playing his son, and his son, thought based off how he plays in the NBA that he could beat him one-on-one, right? And that was not the case. And he said he didn't even drive. He said he was just lacing them from three-point. And he's like, when did you learn how to shoot? He was like, we can all shoot. He's like, I'm an NBA player. I am a professional, right? And I think people look, and the ease of which what professionals make it look makes the average man think, or average person think, that I can do that too. No, sir, you cannot. Right?
That goes back to what's his name from the White Mamba. What's his name? I can't think of his name, guy. And he was the last guy on the end of the bench for the Celtics. Started playing off the radio. He was like, "I'll meet you at the park." He played
Scalabrini.
Yeah, Scalabrini. Yeah, Scalabrini. And he was busting. Like it wasn't no close games. It was like 11-1 or 11-2. And then he said something that made sense. He said, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are closer to me as a basketball player." And I was like, technically, it's kind of right if you really think about it.
No, 100%, right? And how many times have you heard NBA players or other professionals say, you know what, due to what we had, within the team, this was my role, so this is what I had to do, right? This is what they was paying me to do. So I came in, I did this, I executed. Well, go ahead.
Well, I feel like championship teams or even championship individuals know their roles, know what they're good at, and they eventually get you to get there. Like you said, muscle memory is a factor. Joshua probably got in there, started throwing them punches, got hit one time, was like, "Oh, you know what, dog? Scat, I'm gonna get me one." And then it didn't help no better that Jake Paul went to that corner and was trying. First of all,
listen. I can only hold back so much, right? And if you are somebody out here, and the coach in the chat, said it best. If you could throw that up on the chat. Listen, he's been boxing for 6 years, but he can't teach his body, all of the time that he's missed, what these other professionals have already put in, early in life, right? It's almost second nature to these folks, right? Now he's trying to play catch up, right? And, like I said, he's got the money. He can dedicate himself to becoming a boxer, right? He can practice from dawn up to dawn down, but
sun up to sundown.
Sun up to sundown. And here's the thing, he's still don't have enough time, and right, and he's playing the Father Time is against him as well, right? He started way too late. Now, don't get me wrong. Crawford, right? He started when he was, a lot older. However, Crawford is so gifted, that, and plus Crawford had been boxing years before, he became a professional. So, it is what it is. But Andrew Tate, I have my own personal gripes with who he is as a person and what he does. But what I will tell you is this. I say the same thing, right? And although this other guy, and I have no idea who this dude is. I've seen some of his other fights preparing for today, and it looked like he couldn't throw a combination to save his life. However, he hit Andrew Tate with Marcus's favorite punch, which was that uppercut. And I seen that punch coming a mile away. Like I don't understand how he didn't get out of the way.
But that's not my favorite punch. My favorite punch is the double uppercut. I told you one time I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. Now, if Andrew Tate had gotten hit with a double uppercut, man, he would just have to quit whatever he's doing. Podcast.
Look, this is what I'll say, and I usually give props to individuals who step outside their comfort zone, but sometimes. And individuals like these, where they open their mouth as if they're that good and haven't put that much work into what those individuals have been doing for a lifetime, sometimes you get exactly what you deserve. Let's go on to our next topic, guys. Man, it was a jam-packed weekend. The year's almost coming up, and we're going to start answering some of these questions that are hard, and it comes to one that's important in the NFL. Who's your NFL Rookie of the Year, and who's your Defensive Rookie of the Year? I'll go ahead and start it off, guys. My Offensive Rookie of the Year is Tate McMillan. Tate McMillan plays receiver for the Carolina Panthers. He has 66 receptions, 929 yards, 7 touchdowns, and he still has 1 game to go. And the main reason why I also took him as well is because his team is actually in a place where they can actually win and be in the playoffs with a home game. And he's been probably their best receiver while he's been there. He's just a rookie. My Defensive Rookie of the Year, I have Nick Omenrari. He plays safety for the Seattle Seahawks. He has 74 total tackles, 2.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and 1 interception. And he's on the team that's playing for the number 1 seed, and he is on the field consistently and makes plays. So that's why he's my Defensive Rookie of the Year. I throw it to you, Jones. Who you got, man?
Yeah, so not to be a homer.
No, I knew you was gonna be a homer.
I got to. Carson Schlesinger, linebacker for Cleveland Browns. He's been playing outstanding all year. I think he leads all rookies in tackles for losses. But this last game when the Cleveland Browns are 3 and whatever, and we have nothing to play for but pride. He ended up pulling a muscle, I want to say late in the second quarter.
His quad.
And, his quad. And, matter of fact, the announcer said, you know what, they need to just go ahead and get him off the field. Right. And so they panned over, they showed him he was on the bike. Right. And, afterwards they had asked him, they did an interview with him. They said, what did you tell the coaches? And when they asked you if you were okay, he's like, I'm good enough, right? The leg good enough. And he went back out there, and he that defense, and he helped with that defensive stop, right? With holding the Pittsburgh Steelers to no touchdowns, right? So into 2 field goals. So I would go with Carson Schlesinger. I think he is primed to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, when I was looking at just Rookie of the Year in general, or maybe even Offensive Rookie of the Year, I looked at T-Mac. I've seen some of his games, man. I wasn't too impressed. I thought we would get more out of him. I know he's a rookie, but we've seen rookies come and do amazing things. I will say he did play better than Marvin Harrison Jr. In his rookie year. But but what I'm gonna say this, and you guys are gonna look at me, but Tyler Shook.
Stop it.
Tyler
Stop
Shook.
it. Come on, man.
Tyler Shook. Multiple 300 plus passes.
I get it. I
no
get
interceptions.
it. No.
So you don't like that one, huh?
Nah. And I'm gonna say this, and I'll have no disrespect because I know all those guys in the NFL play hard. But when you are going to Cancun as soon as the season ends, that's all you can see. Like, don't get me wrong, your body's telling you go make this tackle because this guy got the football. But in the same sense, you're like, hey man, I don't want to go with a broken leg. A play you would normally go in and smack a cat, you pull off and somebody slips by you and throws a touchdown, or somebody runs through your arm tackle that you're trying to do because you don't want to make it look obvious because Cancun to be here shortly. So I get it, but nah, who you got, Coach Josh?
Hold on. Hold on. Let me say this though. So he's got 2,125 passing yards, 9 TDs, 5 interceptions. Completion rate is around 81.5%, which is probably top of all rookies right now, even my guy Shedeur Sanders. And his career high is 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, listen, for a guy that no one had any expectations about, for a guy who, quote unquote, they said couldn't beat out Spencer Rattler, right? And we see what Spencer Rattler was the last couple of years, and he was supposed to be, a baller, but he is not. And Tyler Shook has come out and he's won games as a rookie, right? He's beaten teams
like,
that
3
he
games?
probably 4 out of 5 from what I understand.
4,
yeah. So I think he definitely garners some consideration.
1, 2, 3 Cancun. No.
Well, so here's the thing. Just because
1, 2, 3 Cancun, man. No, Josh, you and I know.
So let me ask you this. Real quick.
Go ahead.
So Myles Garrett, when he goes and get this sack record this week, is he not up for consideration of Defensive Player of the Year?
He is, but he's not the Defensive Player of the Year. We know that. And
I don't know. Do we know that?
He's not Defensive Player of the Year.
So who's the Defensive Player of the Year? Myles Garrett.
We'll get there. Get there. That's
no doubt.
A little bit later on down, and I'll have the reason why. But go ahead. Coach Josh, who you got, man? Rookie of the Year and
for Rookie of the Year. So my choice would have been, how you say the name for the dude from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the receiver?
Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, but he got hurt, but he was like balling. He was actually like making Tampa Bay better. Like, okay. Tyler Marcus, let's look at this. No, because me and you already talked about this.
Here we go.
But who got better numbers?
Here go the homers.
But who got better numbers?
Just to give you guys insight,
Here
Jones is a Browns fan, and he took Swearinger. And Coach Josh is.
No. I'm not taking Tyler Sloth or Slaw, whatever his name is.
Tyler Shook, man.
Yeah, you better put some respect on his name. He win a game for y'all.
Yeah, for real.
But what rookie quarterback? What other rookie has yards like him, bro? Like in the amount of games that he played.
They don't. But I also would say, and I'll say this. This is why I'm giving it to Tate McMillan. He's been doing it
all season.
I got you. Like I said, he has 66 receptions. He's almost at 1,000 yards. If he have 80 yards, he'll be 1,000-yard receiver with 7 touchdowns. And hey, man, that's the start to a good season to me.
But my choice would be the dude from the Bears. What's his name, man? We talked about this. The running back from
My
Rutgers.
fun guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of took some carries away from Swift, which I thought Swift was still good, bro, because Swift making moves for the Chicago Bears. Him
My,
and Generational.
my fun guy reminds me of. You remember when the Bears had that two-back system a couple years ago?
With who?
The little dude, they had the little dude who run real hard, and then he got hit real hard and was knocked out for a little bit, and then he no longer was the same. That's exactly who he reminds me of. He runs so hard until the NFL catches you. You guys know how it goes.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna lay a lick to you, and then he's not gonna be the same anymore. So, but
I feel that way with Ashton Genty. I think he's one because he's a small guy. I think he's one hit away.
Small, man.
Yeah.
He's small.
But if I'm them, I like how they started to use him as a receiver. That was important. Yes, that was important.
Okay. Hey, Genty number's not bad either.
Hey, because against the Texans, he had 100 yards rushing and almost 100 yards receiving. That's crazy.
Yeah, because he ran for 1,000 this year, which I mean that ain't hard to do. I mean you do about 70 yards a game.
No, agreed.
So, but my guy would be the dude from the Bears. But gotcha. I also looked at. Oh man,
who you got for defensive rookie of the year?
That's the thing, bro. Like none of the rookies on defense really stood out this year. So like I really didn't really pay too much mind on it. I'll probably have to go back, look at some stats and stuff. But I don't know. Man, what was the kicker name? The dude that kicked the long field goal.
Aubrey.
That's the dude. Yeah. Wasn't he a rookie?
Aubrey.
No.
I thought he came from another league or something.
Yeah, he's from the Australian league, but no, he's been in the league for like 3 years, or he was a rookie last year, but he's been on the team.
Yeah, something like that. It was something like that because he's young to the NFL. That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, I think the one dude, the dude from the Jags, is the one who kicked the longest field goal. He was a rookie, I believe, and then you got Tyler Luke, who's a rookie as well.
Bro, man, we had some boys booting that thing this year.
Agreed.
Hey, bro, they kicking it from midfield.
We got a little bit of time, guys. Let's get to the most important part of our show that I've been waiting to get to because I want to hear you guys' point of views, and that's our pick'em. And we're gonna go with this first game. And I ask you guys who you got. This is a very important game. Division's on the line. You got the Bucs and the Panthers. Who you guys got? And whoever wins that division. If Atlanta wins, then it doesn't matter. But it's this weird thing because they end up with the same record, but Carolina have the better record because of what Atlanta does. But who you guys got in this game? Coach Josh, who you got, baby?
I got Carolina. Tampa Bay got too many injuries.
Okay. Coach Jones, who you got?
Well, listen, I had picked the Panthers from the very beginning. I was going to go against the grain just to go against the grain and pick the Buccaneers, but I got to go with the Panthers. I picked them at the very beginning of the season. I'm going to go ahead and ride it on out.
Guys in the chat, who you got? Bucs or Panthers? Here, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna sound weird. Bucs are going to win, but because of that weird draw that they have, I believe Atlanta wins their last game because Atlanta wants to win their last game, and that knocks the Bucs out, which makes Carolina the automatic winner. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
That.
Let's move on. Let's see what the guys in the chat say. Alex L. Boy say the Panthers. I can see that though, but I really do think Tampa Bay is gonna win, and then they're gonna get their heart broken. That's how I feel. Coach MD45 says Panthers, Bucs have been on downhill. That too. That is true.
They on the steep slope. Like I never. They down there with Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Well, he got hurt, so it's a little bit different. But
bro, that injury, bro. Like the Bucs, done had some injuries this year, bro.
Yeah.
This game can ultimately determine first place. And if I'm correct, if San Francisco wins, if San Francisco loses, then they become the 5-6 seed, and the Rams become the 5 seed. If the San Francisco win, then the Seattle becomes the 5 seed, and the Rams become the 6 seed. So this game has a lot of moving parts to it. So I'll go to you guys. Is in San Francisco. Who you guys got, guys, in the chat? Is it San Francisco or is it the Seahawks? Jones, who you got?
Listen, everything in me wants to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba, right? Because Jackson Smith and Jigba have been balling.
The real MVP.
Right? But the real MVP is somebody we ain't even talking about who out here dug in on everybody.
Don't do that, bro.
Listen, hitting the Dougie on everybody.
Yeah,
and listen, I think Brock Purdy and CMC about to Dougie their way to a win. So I'm taking the 49ers +7.
Who he said +7? Who you got?
I got Seattle.
Any particular reason why?
They want that number 1 seed bad. And I think they need it for some rest because they've been playing hard all season. They've been playing hard all season.
Agreed. Seahawks have a better defense. I believe they're able to get more stops as long as Donald doesn't just start throwing the ball to everybody that's not on his team and giving out Happy New Year's presents. They'll be fine.
Well, let me just say this real quick. As the old folks used to say back in Kentucky, people in hell want ice water. So just because they want the number 1 seed, I think for the reasons you just said, I think Sam Darnold, I think he's going to throw at least. I think it's going to be 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions by Sam Darnold, 1 fumble.
I think their defense is too good. I think they're going those 4 guys up front, leading with big sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence. I think they're gonna have a real big outcome in stopping CMC. So
okay, all right.
And I believe my rookie of the year on defense is gonna show his head. 49ers long overdue for a Super Bowl. Now that KC's out of it, they finally might get it this year. Nah, man, they got everybody hurt. Don't worry about it. Go to the next one. And this one, I think we all know who's gonna win this one.
Broncos.
I got the Broncos too.
He's sitting Herbert.
I'm gonna take the Chargers, man.
Herbert's yeah, he sat him. I think he's gonna sit a couple other guys. If somehow somebody
is he sitting? Then we'll go. Well, yeah, unanimous. We'll go ahead and take the Broncos.
He went ahead and sat him. So to me, and I think y'all being low key guys who y'all are, I think you guys all know who the next game is, and it's the last game, and it probably has more significance important to the NFL and star power and things of that nature. And I'd love to hear you guys' input.
Well, first and foremost, I think every last Baltimore fan, I think Snoop Huntley needs to, and Harbaugh needs to send Shedeur Sanders, and AP, defense. Yeah, and the defense and AP to be able to give you guys this chance. Listen. I think it's almost like this Broncos pick, right? I think it's on paper it should be the Ravens, right? You guys have every ingredient to make a great meal, right? I don't know what you guys do at your coaching staff to where, like, a recipe calls for a main ingredient and you don't use it, right?
No, agreed.
It's the
Agreed.
fourth quarter. You got Derrick Henry over there on the bench and you don't put him in, and then you're like, oh man, I forgot we had him. And then the next game you put him in and you realize you should have been running.
But I ask you this question: do you think they learned their lesson?
No, that's what I'm saying. You guys have all the ingredients to win. It's not talent, it's not players, it's going to be the coaching. If you guys lose this game, it's all coaching.
Agreed. Coach
all
Josh,
coaching.
What you got?
I got Baltimore. I think they're gonna play big just because they want to make the playoffs. And I know we say want, but it's a drive right now. And I believe that Aaron Rodgers he's the bad rabbit's foot. They talked all that noise a week ago. Oh, we got 9 wins. That was how many years in a row when he was walking with Tomlin, knowing that he about to be the nail in the coffin for Tomlin. And not saying that Tomlin should get fired, but I believe that that's what's going to happen.
Let me ask you a question. Somebody asked this: has the Derrick Henry experiment been a bust in Baltimore?
I don't think so.
Not that boy got buku yards. I think the coach is.
So let me say this though. Because of some of Derrick Henry's and let me just play devil's advocate real quick. I know we're over time, but let me ask this question. Because of Derrick Henry's fourth quarter struggles early in the season and in past seasons, do you think that's the reason? And when I say his struggles, his fumbling issues in the fourth quarter, do you think that's why they didn't give him the ball in the fourth quarter in some of these games?
No, they were idiots. It doesn't matter, man. The dude's a workhorse. The dude's he's a true tailor of his game. He makes a mistake, he works hard at fixing it. He was mad that he didn't get a touch in the fourth quarter, and we saw what happened. We saw what he did in that next game.
Yeah.
200 plus yards, 4 touchdowns. But and I give the caveat to both of you guys, because both of you guys have been screaming it. Coaching is an issue. And if we don't make the playoffs, it's going to be coaching. If you have to go back and answer your own question as to what has held the Ravens back, it's coaching. Either it was defensively or offensively or as a whole, they have royally messed up this season with a big chance to do something and get a place that they're playing with house money. And I'm gonna give you something that I can't think of his name. The dude that used to play for the Ravens. I can't think of his name. Cornerback. Oh, Dominique Foxworth. I think he said it. He said it the best. He said the Ravens were so used to playing with expectations and leading from the pack. If they was the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed, number 3 seed, he said for the first time, if they get into the playoffs, everyone's gonna doubt them. Mm-hmm. Is this the time where when they're doubted, they take that and they use that to get where they're supposed to be? I don't know. You guys know why I lie and why my ties lie. But it's a great caveat to end the show.
Hold on, real quick. So we know Tomlin's on the hot seat. If they lose, he may be out. If Baltimore loses, it's Harbaugh gone.
Oh, he's on the hot seat too, because there has to be a change. I don't think that is $75 million going to be a change.
There is going to be a change, but I don't think it's going to be Harbaugh.
Next topic for next week.
I don't think it's going to be Harbaugh, but I also don't think Lamar's going either. I do think both coordinate. So if you guys know anything about John Harbaugh, I always told y'all he's a special team coach. He's not an X's and O's guy. Remember that too. He's not. if you guys hear his explanation as to why he didn't have Derrick Henry, he said, I left it up to the offensive coordinator, as he said he had a running backs rotation that he wanted to keep. That's why.
So you fired a running back coach?
No, they're going to fire the OC and they're going to fire the defensive coordinator.
Well, what OC you go get?
There's one particular DC that you go get. And he happens to be in Minnesota.
Or there's one DC that you go get that happens to be in Cleveland.
No, you go get the one that's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
The one in Cleveland going to be the next head coach for Cleveland.
I believe that too.
Man, y'all think Jim Schwartz, they going to give him another chance to be a head coach?
We shall
I
see.
digress. Hey, look, I digress.
Oh, we're going to put that word. Hey, bro, that word about to go down.
I digress, but thank you guys, and thank you guys in the chat. We'll see you again. Once again,
oh, yeah, baby.
Happy New Year to you all. You guys be safe out here, and we see you again on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You guys come see us and hang out with us. Jones, Coach Josh, myself, we love y'all. Y'all have a great one.
All right.